Welcome to Metamora Township High School's production of The Haunting of Hill House. Before the haunting begins, we'd like to remind you that there will be a 15-minute intermission following Act 1 to allow you to recollect your wits. Free treats will be served in the concession area, but we wouldn't be spooked if you cared to leave a donation. Also, the spirits of Hill House prefer quiet, so be sure to silence your cell phones now. Now, with all that in mind, take this opportunity to relax and sit back in your seat, for in a few minutes you certainly shall be perched upon the edge of it, as we bring to you The Haunting of Hill House.
Welcome, class. It is good to see you all this evening. I look forward to your commencement next Saturday, and I am confident that you will all enter the profession of psychology with great aplomb. But, as this is our last class together, I thought I would finish by relating to you a cautionary tale. We gathered here are surgeons of the mind, and with that comes great responsibility. So, let me tell you a story about a brilliant psychologist whose ambition got in the way of his morals and ethics. His name was Dr. Stephen Montague, a brilliant and creative psychologist who graduated from this very university. However, his craving to probe deep into the human mind brought him to a very dark place. He was fascinated by the concept of fear and its effects on the human psyche. Fear, he realized, was one of the most powerful forces of nature and can be generated in a multitude of ways. But Dr. Montague also felt that fear was too often wasted on sweaty palms and nervous hands. He wondered if fear might be used to push humanity to greater accomplishments. So we set up an experiment in an old, sprawling mansion in a remote part of the state. His subjects were 3 unsuspecting young people. They thought they had been brought to the house to be treated for their insomnia, but Dr. Montague was only using their insomnia to further starve their brains and make them more susceptible to fear. He wanted to observe them exhausted and terrified. But what he did not bargain for was that his attempts to reach deep into the human mind would pierce that flimsy membrane and touch the supernatural. Now I know you may be skeptical of such things. After all, we are all scientists. But we should not be so egotistical to believe that we can explain everything. And I can tell you that Hill House is a place where many things are left unexplained. Dr. Montague's experiment was set for Friday the 13th, and it was to his good fortune that it began as it should on a dark and stormy night.
I gather I'm the first one here. Will there be many others? The doctor didn't say in his email. You did say you were Edith Dudley, right?
I didn't say, but I am. This is my sister Ruth. You, of course, met her when she picked you up from the train station. She takes care of the grounds. Just the grounds.
Yes, and thank you for the ride. Are you picking up the others? It'll be nice to finally get started.
There are 2 more coming, but I ain't to be driving any of them. They're taking something the doctor called Uber. Edith and I will be leaving as soon as the others arrive and she sets out dinner.
Would you like to go to your bedchamber now, or stay here and wait in the judgment room?
The judgment room? Why ever is it called that? It's more of a parlor, don't you think?
I didn't ask why it was called what it was called.
So, my bedroom. Does it have a name?
You'll be in the blue room.
The blue room. How nice. I mean, how nice to have blue. Blue has always been my favorite color.
Well,
I think I'll wait here if you don't mind. This is a beautiful home.
I suppose it once was. It's a lot to dust. Well, suit yourself. Blue room's the first door on the right. Top of the staircase, off the main foyer.
I'll find it. Thank you.
I set out dinner on the dining room sideboard at 6 p.m. sharp. You can serve yourself. I clean up in the morning. Breakfast will be ready for you at 9. That's what I agreed to do. I probably won't keep the rooms up the way you'd like, but there was no one else here to help besides me and my sister. And I don't wait on people. You have to serve yourself.
Of course.
We don't stay after she sets out dinner. Not after it begins to get dark. We leave before dark comes.
We live in town, 3 miles away from here.
So there won't be anyone around if you need help. No one from town could even hear you. Not that they would come, even if they could. No one from town will come to this house. Especially not in the night. In the dark.
Thank you for telling me. Is there anything else I should know? The internet passcode?
You shouldn't be here. There. I've said it. That's all the warning you'll get from me. People like to dabble in places they don't belong. I'll suffer no pity for you of things. You shouldn't be here. That's the last I'll say of it.
How's the view?
Sorry, you startled me.
How do you do? And please, don't apologize. This house is something, huh? I mean, what an impression as we drove up. That winding lane. Oh. Look, I've already got goosebumps. Oh, I'm Theodora, but you can just call me Theo.
Eleanor Vance. And welcome to Hill House. I'm sure this place was amazing back in the day. But I have to admit, I wasn't expecting something so...
Creepy? Eerie? Cobwebby?
quiet.
And what do you think this room used to be used for? Embalming the bodies?
Apparently they call it the judgment room.
How inviting! I hate to think what it's like upstairs. This place is perfect for a gal like me. A little hideaway where I can be alone with my thoughts, particularly if they happen to be about murder or suicide or...
There's something about this house. It's so huge. It's almost as if it has a presence of its own. I bet if these walls could talk, they could tell some grand stories.
If these walls start to talk, I want you to get me out of here as soon as possible.
I can't wait to explore it. I hope we have time. I don't know. Something about it almost feels peaceful to me. Peaceful and familiar. Like I've been here before.
Dear girl, when did you get here?
Just a few minutes before you.
Then chalk it up to deja vu. Or maybe you once visited here in a past life. So, I'm assuming you got an invitation from Dr. Montague like I did. You must be an insomniac too. Let me guess. You strike me as a Lunesta girl.
Oh, I gave up on those prescription drugs a long time ago. They never worked for me.
Me either. Though I've done some extensive research on the effects of Cabernet Sauvignon and vodka martinis. They don't really work either. But they make my company more tolerable.
Well, feel free to knock on my door if you can't sleep tonight. I'm not very encouraged. It's been, let's see, what's today?
Friday.
Right. So I'm working on about 50 hours since I last slept.
About the same for me. That's fabulous. I'll have someone else to roam the halls with in the middle of the night.
All of this is such a mystery. Dr. Montague? All I know is he wrote to me, saying he was interested in trying to treat people with our condition. He said he wanted to observe us in a state of prolonged unsleep. I have never heard it called that before.
He's a PhD. They love to invent new words. I used to date one once.
What happened?
He caught me in a prolonged state of uncommitted. So, tell me about yourself.
Well, there's really not much to tell. I live a pretty ordinary life. Most of it I spent taking care of my sick mother, my adopted mother. You know, I barely remember a time when she wasn't sick. It's hard to make friends or get out to meet others when you're at a bedside most of the time. Not that I'm complaining. I wouldn't trade that time for anything. I miss her.
I'm sorry. She's passed.
Just recently. Well, I say recently. It'll be a year next week. And since then, I've been trying to piece together a new life. So how about you?
Oh, I'm fabulously famous. I am what's called a social media influencer. I've tens of thousands of friends. Well, followers, actually. But of course, I've never actually met any of them. It's strange. People think being famous is so glamorous. And in some ways it is. And the money is great. I just picked up Revlon as a sponsor. You'd be shocked to know how much they pay me to paint my nails and line my eyes with their products in front of a webcam. But even so, you don't really get to know people. It can be lonely.
I see you've let yourself in. You'll have to pardon, I don't always answer the door. You'll be in the red room. That's right next door to hers. I suppose she can show you the way. I set out dinner on the dining room sideboard at 6 p.m. sharp, and then I leave. I live in town, 3 miles away from here.
No one will come from the village
I don't stay when the night comes.
before it gets dark.
Before it gets dark.
Well, isn't she all cozy and welcoming? A face like Wednesday Addams and a disposition to match? You know, I'm quite glad she won't be here at night. Can you imagine bumping into her in a dark hallway?
Here, let's take up our things and check out the bedrooms. And maybe we can explore some of the rest of the house. This place must have been amazing back in the day.
Are you sure?
Not for sure, but I thought I heard him.
Which ones?
Does it really matter?
Of course it matters. The children are trouble enough. But the master, he's nasty business.
It's beginning to storm out there. A real rager from the looks of it. And getting colder all of a sudden.
Sometimes the house gets colder on its own. You know that. Especially when it awakens. You know what to do.
I'll go get the chains.
And fasten down those shutters too. I can set out dinner and we can be getting on our way. It will be dark soon. I tell you, they never should have come.
Now that's none of our affair. We take care of the house during the day. Just the day.
And look at this. Someone has left us a welcoming serenade. Such hospitality here at Hill House.
I much prefer Post Malone, but hey, who am I to criticize?
Oh, just put those over there, Claire. We won't need them for a while.
Yes, Doctor.
So, Claire, are you a part of the study too? The doctor didn't tell me our group would be so attractive.
Claire is my assistant, Mr. Sanderson. She is here for strictly professional reasons.
I'll be watching you more than you'll be watching me, Mr. Sanderson.
Please, call me Luke. And sorry, when I get tired, I don't screen my thoughts very well.
No worries, Luke. And thank you for the compliment. There's no need to apologize. The other two subjects are already here, Doctor, and Miss Dudley said that dinner is nearly ready.
Hey, looks like the gang's all here.
You must be Theodora.
I must.
Well, someone must, and I don't think I'd look nearly as striking in those boots as you.
This is Luke Sanderson. His insomnia manifests itself with a distinct lack of discretion.
Ouch. Painful, but true.
And this is Eleanor Vance.
Hello, everyone.
This is my assistant, Claire McCoy, and of course, you know me through our correspondence.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell us Theodora's last name. I mean, what if she's a Capone or a Bundy? Or a Putin?
I don't like to use my last name, Luke. Professional reasons.
Wow. Exotic and mysterious? Yow.
I should also tell you that I make snap decisions about people. Like Nell here. Salt of the earth. A lovely giving soul. And as for you, Mr. Luke Sanderson, you can call me Theo. But keep your distance.
What was that?
Oh, that was just Ruth closing the storm shutters. The radar shows that we're due for a pretty good storm tonight.
That will do it for me. Dinner is ready. The lower kitchen is stocked with coffee, tea, etc., and I've just left some pastries out on the counter to cool.
Same recipe she used before she offed Hansel and Gretel.
I'm sure you'll find plenty of other provisions in the cabinets if you care to hunt through them.
We'd best be going. It's already started raining. Getting dark.
What's with the chain? Let me guess. Your pet dog is actually a werewolf?
People like to joke about what they don't understand. The truth is, the gates of Hill House get locked up at night. Every night.
Do you really think anyone would want to drive all the way out here? Especially in a storm?
Yeah, and I thought you said nobody from the village ever comes here anyway.
Chains and locks are funny things, Miss Theodora. See, most people only think about using them to keep someone from breaking in. But here at Hill House, we worry more about what might get out.
Well, we will see you in the morning. Thank you for everything. I'm sure we will find everything we need here in the house.
Yes, night night. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Well, I suggest we make our way to the dining room to see what Edith Dudley has left out for us. It's just down the corridor and beyond the short set of stairs that lead past the conservatory.
Sounds great. I'm starving. I haven't eaten since breakfast.
Wow, I don't think we could have gotten off to a better start. This old mansion is even creepier than you described. And where did you find the Doom sisters? Relatives of the Addams family?
Believe it or not, they really are the groundskeeper and maid here at the house.
Why in the world does this house need a staff if no one comes here? Ugh. Not that Edith is much of a housekeeper.
They are paid through a trust that was set up by the original owner. He wanted to ensure that Hill House didn't fall into ruin. They are actually the third generation of Dudleys to work here.
And you are going to tell them the story of Ukraine, right? That ought to get their hearts pounding.
I might only tell them part of the story for now. Fear is better doled out slowly. We'll see. I think I'll just play it out as the night goes.
Well, With this storm descending, I don't think it'll take as much as you might think. It wouldn't shock me if this place truly was haunted.
Please, Claire, don't joke about such nonsense. After all, we are scientists.
Well, I have to admit, dinner exceeded my expectations. Edith Dudley may not have a knack for conversation, but she sure knows her way around a kitchen.
It was so delicious.
Salmon Wellington in cream sauce? Wasn't expecting that. I've dined in a few Michelin 5-star restaurants and haven't had better.
And those fudge brownies reminded me of home. Mom used to make ones just like it as a treat for us when she was having a good day.
I think we'll find that Hill House is full of surprises. Let's hope a solution to your sleep issues is one of them.
Well, if not, here's a good runner-up surprise. Look, the liquor cabinet's fully stocked. We got brandy, rum, oh, a 20-year-old bottle of port. Yum.
I say we start with the port and work our way down.
Please, let me.
Since we are going to be spending the weekend together, let's play some get-to-know-you games. Don't be alarmed if you see Claire scribbling. She's going to try to record most of our activities. Perhaps some of them will show a common link.
I love games. What do you have in mind, Doctor?
Let's start off with a simple one. Here's a scenario. You're standing outside your house in nothing but your bedclothes.
Ooh, I like the way this is starting.
In nothing but your bedclothes, but your house is on fire. You have time to run in and grab one item. What item would that be, and why? Why don't you start, Theodora?
That's a tough one. I own so many gorgeous Gucci bags. It'd probably have to be my laptop. That's how I earn my living.
How about you, Luke? What's the one item in your house that you would run into a fire to get?
Oh, that's an easy one for me. It'd have to be my PS4. He's really my best friend, come to think of it. We spend lots of long hours together, and he never disappoints.
Okay! Over to you now. Surely there's something in some secret closet that you would risk life and limb to go retrieve?
I only wish that I had some secret closet. I told you, compared to you, I live a very plain life. But one item? Well, let me think. Oh, I know! It would have to be my pendant. That's assuming, of course, I didn't already have it around my neck. I usually wear it everywhere I go.
Did your mother give that to you? It's very beautiful.
She passed it on to me. It's probably a better way of saying it. Came with me from the orphanage. It belonged to my birth mother.
I see it has an E on it. Was her name Eleanor as well?
I don't really know. I think her last name was Patterson. That's what the orphanage said anyway. They also thought it was originally from her great-grandmother. You can see it's quite old.
And why is it specifically so special to you?
Isn't that obvious?
No, it's actually a good question. My adopted mom loved me very much. But something about this pendant always made me feel like I belonged to something important. Somewhere special. That's something true about us adopted kids. You can always make up a great story about who your real family was. I would sit and stare at the initial on this pendant and dream that whoever she was, she must have been a great woman. And I'm sure she had a big heart and loved lots of people.
Interesting. Fear of death and fear of the unknown. The same biochemical response and brought on by two very different factors. There is some cutting-edge research that suggests that fear may not be an inhibitor of sleep for some. Rather, it may induce it.
You mean, do you want us to get scared so we can sleep?
No, not at all. But what I will say is that you should not stifle your fear. It's a natural human response baked into our DNA. So let it run freely if it presents itself.
You know, I'm not too sure that I want to be cured. You two might hate it, but I get my greatest ideas in the middle of the night. My mind starts racing, adrenaline begins to pump. I can almost feel heroic.
Are you kidding me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. It's 3 in the morning and there's nothing on TV except infomercials about kitchen gadgets, and you can't call anyone unless you want to lose every friend you've ever had. The worst was when COVID hit, and they shut down all those 24-hour Walmart stores. That was my great treat to myself. I'd walk around and I'd talk to the people stocking the shelves. That's what they do in the middle of the night. They stock the shelves. Heck, I knew most of the staff on a first-name basis.
How about you, Eleanor? How do you cope? Are you prone to late-night drives, or do you pace hallways brimming with inspiration like Theodora?
Actually, I'm nothing like them.
Tell me what you mean.
Well, it seems like you two can't sleep because you live such exciting lives. Like, you can't shut off your brains because there's always something to think about or something exciting that keeps you awake. I'm not like that. Really, nothing has ever happened to me. I guess the reason I can't sleep is because for my entire life, someone needed me. I'd lay in my bed, just waiting for Mom to call out. She had a cane, and she would knock on my wall. Knock, knock, knock. You know, even now that she's gone, I still sometimes lay awake and think I'm hearing her. I think I'm hearing the knock of her cane.
That must have been very difficult for you, Eleanor. Taking care of your mother all of those years?
I suppose it was. And there were times that I dreaded it. But looking back, Mom's illness gave my life purpose. I wanted to be there for her. And now that she's gone, I feel like no one needs me anymore.
Well, I need you, Eleanor. We all do. Tonight I want to start some tests. Cognitive tests. These are for you to write in. They also contain a few puzzles to see how your brain reacts at various stages of unsleep. My hope is that we can find a link between your brain function and your extreme insomnia. Now, by the way, there's no cheating, no borrowing answers, and in case you were wondering, there is no cell service out here, nor is there any internet. So don't worry about trying to get an A. The most important part of our experiment is for you to write down your thoughts and impressions as we go through the weekend. Record any impulses, any bit of inspiration, any excitement, any fears.
Well, we already got a good head start in that department. Just look at this house. Who used to live here anyway? Dracula's spookier brother? And the drive up here, through that old forest and past the cemetery? If I were going to make a movie about a haunted house, I think I'd film it here.
Actually, some say that Hill House is haunted. Not that I believe in any such nonsense. And this house was built in 1872 by Hugh Crane. That's his portrait, there above the fireplace.
Quite a dashing fellow. If you're into menacing eyes and grim scowls. He must have been quite a hit with the kids on Halloween.
He was the owner of a very profitable foundry back in the 1800s. He built this place shortly after he married his wife, the lovely Anne. This place has nearly 70 rooms, 6 separate staircases, 2 kitchens, a billiard room, and a conservatory with a 30-foot slide and a merry-go-round. He planned to have a big family with his wife, and this place would be their playground.
So, what happened?
Sadly, his wife was unable to have children. She fell into a deep, deep depression. This was, I believe, in autumn. Yes, it was October of 1873. Anyway, poor Anne would lie in her bed for days and stare out the window at the sprawling grounds, dreaming of the family she never had, imagining them playing out there on the lawn. Crane tried to appease her by bringing a handful of children in from his factory here to play, but nothing could bring her out of it. It's said that she hung herself with one of the children's play ropes. Her body was found dangling over the spiral staircase in the north tower, the one with the best view of the empty grounds.
So, the ghost of Anne Crane haunts this place. Is that it? Lovely! Well, if I see her, I'll be sure to try and cheer her up. I know a vast array of off-color jokes. Always break the ice at parties.
It's not the ghost of Mrs. Crane that haunts this place. It's Hugh, who stomps through the hallways and bangs on the doors. He went quite mad, you see, after the passing of Anne. Where Anne fell into despair, Hugh Crane fell into rage.
Now that you mention it, he does look like he's a little angry. He strikes me as the kind of guy who would have a tough time just chilling out on a 3-day weekend.
Then again, others say it's not Hugh's ghost that haunts this place. People say they hear the voices of others.
What others?
People say they hear the voices of children.
Children? But I thought they weren't able to have any kids.
It's believed they are the children that were brought here to play. You see, they were never heard from again. Once they left the factory and came to Hill House, they utterly vanished.
Great! A haunted house filled with children's ghosts? A raging lunatic? At least this place will give me an excuse to drink in the middle of the night.
Well, you have your journals. I say we retire to our rooms and see if any of you three can get some sleep. I know it has been some time since any of you have slept. So tonight, as you have thoughts, jot them down and we will compare notes in the morning. Claire, I'd like you to station yourself outside Theo and Nell's rooms. I'll camp outside Luke's room. If you see any signs of fear from them, getting agitated, pacing the halls, or even talking to themselves, record it. And use the rubric we created to evaluate its intensity.
Who's going to evaluate my fear? I mean, just look at him. If there ever was a candidate for an evil ghost, it would be Hugh Crane. And this house, it feels like it's alive. The walls, the ceilings, the corridors.
Claire, come now. It is the three of them we're studying. Now, head upstairs. You know what to do. Okay, Mr. Crane, it's go time. If you really do exist, tonight, it's your show.
So, what are the over-under Vegas odds that any of us will actually get any sleep tonight?
I don't like my chances. That's why I've come fully prepared. Comfy walking shoes for strolling the halls later tonight, and a brand spanking new book of easy to moderate crossword puzzles.
I'll give you $10 for 15 of those pages.
Make it 20.
Done. Aw, no. Look at you. All snuggled in already. There's always one optimist of the group.
I actually think I may sleep really well tonight. I just feel so comfortable in this place. I don't know. It's strange. There's just something very familiar about it.
Well, we won't stand in your way. Good luck and sleep tight, and remember, if you need anything, I'm in the next room. Just knock on the wall or give me a shout. Now, don't you dare short me on those puzzles. Nighty-night now. Sleep tight.
Thanks, Theo. I sure hope to. Theo? Is that you? Theo?
Eleanor! He's coming! Hi!
Theo!
He's here!
Luke! Dr. Montague!
didn't hear anything, just you screaming for us.
Now, let's all just settle down. I'm sure there's a rational explanation for all of this. Claire, would you go to put on some tea? Let's just meet in the parlor and sort it all out.
Now none of us are getting any sleep tonight.
Now, you sit here, Nell. Let's all take a deep breath. So you said you heard a knocking on the wall?
Yes, it was like someone was trying to get in. But before that, I heard voices and this deep groaning sound, like the walls were moaning. Surely you heard it.
No, we didn't hear anything.
Yeah, and I'm just down the hall. I didn't hear a peep.
Now, you mentioned you dream about your mother's cane knocking against the wall. Could it have just been something you imagined?
No, I know what I heard.
It's storming outside. Could there have been a tree branch beating against the side of the house?
Maybe, but I don't think so. And wouldn't you guys have heard it too?
These voices you heard, you say they were calling your name? Okay, I will say that Claire was outside your room while you were in bed. She was making notes about her observations. It was probably just her talking into her recorder.
But what about that groaning sound? Nothing explains that.
The plumbing in this house is very old. It does sound like moaning or groaning when water rushes through the pipes.
I had just started drawing a bath. That does make sense.
I know what I heard.
The tea's on in the kitchen if anyone would care for some.
I'm gonna need something a lot stronger than Earl Grey right now, I can tell you that.
I'll get it for you. It looks like we have a little port left. Or something even. Ah! Oh, who did this? This is not funny! Who did this? What are you trying to do to me?
Do what, Nell?
Who did this?
Well, if we wanted to incite fear, I think we hit the bullseye.
And this? This was a nice touch, Claire. It even gave me a chill when Eleanor saw it.
What do you mean?
I mean, that was a very creative idea. Eleanor mentioned she felt very at home here. I didn't even see you do it.
That's because I didn't. Dr. Montague, I never touched that tray.
Then who did?
I hate to even guess.
Mercifully, the rest of the night continued uneventfully. No one, including Dr. Montague, managed any sleep. The doctor wrote the following in his journal that evening. The subjects have completed several of the puzzles given to them while in a state of increased agitation. Their scores showed remarkable increases in problem solving, creativity, and speed. I found this data promising, but I wonder, at what cost? I do still believe that most of Eleanor's experiences can be explained by natural phenomena. As to the message on the serving tray, either Luke or Theodora could have placed it there. Luke demonstrates a penchant for dry humor. This could be some strange idea of a joke. And as for Theodora, she scored highly on the test for narcissism. This could be a way for her to exert power or a sense of control over the experiment. And yet, I can't help but wonder. I haven't told them about the fates of the previous researchers who experimented in this house. I believe I will wait until tomorrow to see how our subjects respond to a new day. But Claire was right. There is a palpable force that exists within these walls. It feels potent and evil. I'll instruct Ruth Dudley not to chain the gates tomorrow evening, just in case. As you can imagine, everyone was grateful to finally see the light of the morning sun. Saturday brought a sense of normalcy to the house. Fears abated, and so did the scores of the subject's cognitive tests. Only Eleanor remained somewhat pensive. As her fears lessened, her curiosity increased. She felt that the house was reaching out to her with two separate hands. One of those hands was welcoming, almost kind, but the other was a dark and sinister force that seemed intent on harming her. As for Luke and Theodora, by late afternoon they actually began amusing themselves by sharing ghost stories. Ghost stories are always harmless in the daylight, but at Hill House, night was encroaching.
How about a 10-letter word for ghastly?
That's easy. Hugh Crane.
Hugh Crane. Let's see. No, this word has an F in it and ends in G. Oh, and Hugh Crane is only 9 letters.
Try terrifying.
Terrifying. Yes, that's it. Theo, you're a genius.
Feel free to spread the word. And that'll cost you 2 extra pages of crosswords.
I bet you get mad scores on some of those tests we've been taking. Honestly, I don't get it. There are 2 boys mowing 2 separate yards at the same time. The first boy can mow half an acre in 35 minutes. The second boy can mow 2 acres in an hour and a half. How much could a third boy mow if he had the first mower? I mean, how is this going to help us sleep?
I'm not sure what we're doing up here. I'm beginning to think that Dr. Montague has ulterior motives. And that Claire? I don't trust her at all.
Well, if Dr. Montague does have a breakthrough, we'll all be famous in those journals and catalogs and whatnot. Well, Eleanor and I will be famous, and you'll be super, mega, extra famous. How about you, Eleanor? Does fame appeal to you?
No, I like my quiet life.
Then how about a 9-letter word for scrapes? And I can tell you there's a CH in the middle of it.
Try scratches.
Scratches. How about that? Nailed it. I tell ya, I'm surrounded by superior brains.
It took you until now to realize that?
You know, this crossword just reminded me of a story I heard in high school. You see, I went to a small rural high school in central Illinois, and the teachers there told us the old stage was haunted.
Let me guess. It was the ghost of the old maintenance man who wore a striped shirt and had razor blades for fingers. You know, they made like 25 of those Freddy Krueger movies.
No. This was a much different story. It was about a girl named Callie Shaw. They say that back in the 1930s, when no one really thought about the concept of bullying, Callie Shaw came to our school as a freshman. Those were terrible times back then, and she was small and shy and easy to pick on. Now, the old stage had a rickety flight of wooden stairs that led up to the costume room. That I know is true. I've been in there myself. One Halloween night, some older kids told Callie, who was desperate to be accepted, that the room was filled with candy left over from a student council fundraiser. If she brought some down to them, they would be her friends. Of course, it was all a prank. When Callie went into the room, they shut the door behind her and locked her inside. Then, those bandits went out and had their Halloween fun, completely forgetting about Callie. Unfortunately, that room has electrical outlets that run all around its walls. Like I said, I've seen it myself. Anyway, in the middle of the night, one of the costumes brushed right up against one of the outlets. Apparently, there was an electrical fire that smoldered in the costumes, and poor Callie Shaw was trapped inside. The next morning, when the kids finally remembered to let her out, they opened up the door to find smoke pouring out, and Callie slumped dead in front of them. All night long, she'd been scratching on that door, trying to get out. They say there was blood all over the door, and her fingers had been clawed down to the bone.
I don't like all these stories about children. It's terrible people tell stories like that. Children are the last innocents we have in this world.
Wait, it gets worse.
I think I'll go to my room.
You're gonna miss the part about my friend who was up on the room on Halloween night. Anyways, he felt it get all cold. And later that night, when he went home and took off his socks, he had scratches up and down his legs and ankles. Now that's scary.
My roommate in college, Tina, told me a great ghost story about the farmhouse she used to live in Minnesota.
Ooh, do tell.
Well, when Tina was about 8, she and her family moved into an old, charming farmhouse in rural Minnesota. They really loved it. The best part was she and her little sister Betsy could go exploring all day long. They loved everything about the old place. Its dusty corners, rickety old stairs, even climbing the apple trees at the back of the property. But their favorite part about the old place was the ghost. They called the ghost Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, when Tina and Betsy would wake up, there would be cups on their nightstands that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them just in case they got thirsty overnight. Mother seemed to just want to take care of them. Well, among the farmhouse's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair. The family used to keep it against the wall in the living room. Now, sometimes, when Tina and Betsy would get preoccupied watching TV or maybe playing a game, Mother would start inching the chair across the room towards them. Sometimes, she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. They always felt sad putting it back. They believed that Mother just wanted to be near them. Well, years later when they were moving out, Tina found a newspaper article behind an old mirror that talked about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then, she'd hanged herself. The article included a photo of the living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. And beneath her, knocked over, was that same wooden chair, placed exactly in the center of the room.
Okay, I am now officially freaked out.
This might be a great time to get back to those brain teaser puzzles.
We'll be leaving now.
I've left dinner on the dining room sideboard. You can serve yourselves, just like last night.
If dinner tonight is half as good as last night, you and your sister may need a shotgun to get me to leave.
Shotguns are useless around Hill House. Not everything can be destroyed by bullets.
Right. I was just making a joke.
That storm ain't gonna let up. I'll lock up on our way out.
Ruth, if you don't mind, I'd prefer you don't lock the gates tonight.
Why not?
Let's just say I think we'd be more comfortable with the chains off.
There's ways we do things around here at Hill House, and good reasons for them. But if you don't want no locks, suit yourself.
Well, I say we make our way to the dining room.
You won't get an argument out of me.
Wait a minute. Where's Eleanor?
I think she got a little upset by one of the stories I told. I'm sure she'll be down to join us when she feels better. By the way, just a word of warning. If Edith leaves a cup of milk on your nightstand tonight, don't drink it.
I know that the doctor had good explanations for what I experienced last night. But I know what happened. Something was trying to get to me. Or, come to think of it, maybe it was trying to get to something inside this room. But I know what I heard. I hear you, but I don't know where you are. What is it you need me to do? How can I find you? Is it something in there? Is that what the creature was trying to get to last night? Yes, I think I feel something in here. Is this it? Does this key lead me to where you are? There's a lock over here. Let's see. How could this open? This key must fit somewhere. Where could it go? Wait a minute. Of course.
Eleanor, come to us. Eleanor, come play with us. Come play.
It's the children's playroom. This is what they wanted to show me.
Play the game, Eleanor. You have to play the game. Checkmate. Checkmate. White queen must defeat the red king. The white queen must defeat the red king. You have to play the game, Eleanor.
Once upon a time, there lived a small girl in an old, scary house. But she was not afraid. This little girl
you are. You missed another fantastic meal prepared by the icy hands of Miss Edith Dudley.
Tonight, it was good old-fashioned pot roast with potatoes, carrots, and all the fixings. Man, it was better than my grandma used to make.
Don't worry now. There are plenty of leftovers waiting for you when you want them.
I'm fine. No, I'm more than fine. I just had one of the most extraordinary hours of my life.
I don't know. An hour with Edith's gravy sauce is tough to beat.
Tell us about it, Eleanor. What have you been doing?
I found the children's secret playroom and played with the children. They spoke to me and played with me. I finally know why I'm here. I belong to them. They need me here. Can't you tell?
What are you talking about, Nell? What children? Who needs you?
The children of Hill House. The ones brought here by Hugh Crane to play for Anne. Oh, I know I thought I came at your request, Doctor, but now I know. Someone else was calling out to me. The children of Hill House needed me here.
Nell, tell me about this playroom. There are nearly 70 rooms in this house. How do you know you were in a special one?
Because the children showed me a key that opened up a secret passage. I realized it was for the lock by the cherubs over there. It's how to get to the children's playroom. I was there. I'll show you. The key. Oh, I must have left the key in the playroom. The key opened up the fireplace, and there's a corridor behind it. Well, don't look at me like that. I'm telling the truth. I found the children's secret playroom and played with the children.
Nell, you seem to be the only one experiencing these strange occurrences. Isn't it possible you're just imagining things?
Imagining?
All I'm saying is that perhaps your vivid imagination mixed with the excitement of this house has your brain conjuring ghosts. Look, this doesn't budge. There's no secret passage. Now let's all go back to our rooms and record our thoughts in our journals. I'd like you all to try puzzles 17 and 21B. I think you'll like the last one. It's more of a game than anything.
A game? Yes, that's right. The children said I have to play the game. Oh, the game. The game.
Eleanor, you're in hysterics. What game? There is no game.
The White Queen must defeat the Red King. That's what they said. And they played the pieces over and over. Look, the king is surrounded by his men. But if I move the White Queen, checkmate.
He who stands before these doors shall be judged.
What in great Caesar's ghost is this?
Judgment. Judgment. Edith Dudley said that this was called the Judgment Room.
Dr. Montague, did you know anything about this?
Back when town was just getting started and nearly everyone worked at Hugh Crane's foundry, Crane took on a larger role than just a factory owner. Since the nearest courthouse was several days' carriage ride away, Crane also became the judge for the town. This is where he would settle petty disputes and even some larger arguments, right here in this room, the judgment room. I had heard tell of these doors, but I had never seen a painting of them, let alone a picture. I just assumed they were another myth made up about the house.
That kind of power could go to a person's head. Not that I've ever experienced it.
What else do you know about Hugh Crane and this house that you haven't told us?
I think it's time, Doctor. I don't think we should go on any longer.
What are you talking about, Claire?
Tell her, Dr. Montague.
This experiment that you've been a part of was not an attempt to cure you of your insomnia.
You gotta be kidding me.
It was an effort to study you in a heightened state of fear.
But I'm not afraid. I need to get back to the children. The children need me. Can't you see that? They need me.
Eleanor, for whatever reason, you have been affected the most. I think it's time I pulled the plug on this experiment. I thought I could be successful where other scientists had failed. I thought I could harness your fears and drive you towards advanced human potential. but this is all going sideways.
What did you mean about other scientists?
2 other psychologists attempted similar experiments decades ago here at Hill House.
And?
One survived the night, but then went utterly mad.
And the other one?
The Dudleys found his body the next morning lying right there, in front of those doors. They buried him in the cemetery just down the lane.
I'm ending this tonight. Why don't you all gather your things? We are leaving. It'll be a tight squeeze, but I think you can all fit into my car.
You don't have to tell me twice. I'm getting out of here!
Agreed. Forget our belongings. We can have them retrieved in the morning. Eleanor, I need to get you out of here. I need to get all of us out.
But I don't want to leave.
You're not gonna believe this, but the front doors are locked. Old Lady Dudley double-crossed us.
That's impossible. I stood in the doorway and watched the Dudleys leave. Are you sure it's locked?
I think I have a dislocated shoulder to prove it.
There's a workroom in the basement. Follow me. Maybe we can find a crowbar or axe or...
A cannon might do the trick.
Well, wait for me.
Don't worry, Nell. We'll be out of here and on our way home in no time.
I'm fine here. Why won't anyone listen to me? You believe me, don't you, Theo? You believe I found the children, right?
Oh, Nell. Let's just get you home.
Come on, little ones. I know you are here. Please, just show them. Just, please, let me in. It's okay, Theo. Come on, follow me. I want you to meet my friends. See, Theo? It's just like I told you. And look, here's the key, right where I left it.
And you say the children were playing in here?
Yes, the rocking horse, the chessboard, dollies from the pram. And then I read to them from one of these books.
And who do you suppose she is? Anne Crane?
I don't know. She's beautiful, isn't she? But sort of sad.
That sums up this entire house. On one level, it's undeniably beautiful. But at the same time, it's so sad. Sad and pretty terrifying, I won't lie.
I think it's wonderful. Except for Hugh Crane. That was him outside my bedroom last night. I'm sure of it. He didn't want me to find the key.
What in the world is that?
I don't know. It looks like an old ledger. Yes, look. Here are dates and people and wages. This is Hugh Crane's ledger for the foundry. Hired, line worker, Charles Webb, $7.50 per week. Hired, errand boy, Sean Jewell, 6 years of age, 52 cents per day. I knew that children worked back then, but I didn't realize how young they were.
Or how little they were paid. This ledger is incredibly detailed. Hugh Crane certainly liked to keep his eye on everything. Oh my word, Eleanor! This even has his rulings from the judgment room. Look, down here. Ezekiel Dobbs, November 11th, 1871. Charged with the theft of bronze rods. Found guilty and condemned. That sounds ominous.
And look here. He once hired a nanny for only $1.25 a day. The list of requirements for the job says, must dress modestly, be punctual, and engage the children in stimulating play. How wonderful!
Wait a minute now. The Cranes never had children. What was he doing hiring a nanny?
To care for the children he brought back from the factory, I guess.
Eleanor? Look at this woman again. I am pretty sure that is not Anne Crane.
How do you know?
Nell, look at the locket she's wearing. Nell, that is your pendant. It looks identical, doesn't it? You don't think that... What year did Montague say that Anne fell ill and he started bringing children to the house?
It was 1873. Yes, October 1873.
October. Ah, here it is. Now, on October 30th, 1873, there were 6 pronouncements in the judgment room.
Go on.
Listen to this. Eddie Ricks, age 7. Penelope Eddowes, age 9. Daniel Red McAllister, 5. Henry Taylor, 8. And Susan Shea, 7. On Friday, October 30th, 1873, all were charged with the crime of being unlovable, found guilty, and condemned.
He killed them. He killed them. The children couldn't bring Anne out of her depression in that feast. Oh, Theo, he murdered them.
Nell, there was another judgment the following day. On October 31st, 1873, the nanny was charged with a crime.
Charged with what?
Charged with the crime of loving the unlovable. Found guilty and condemned.
Her name, Theo. What was her name?
Eleanor Nell Patterson.
My great-great-grandmother. Oh, my Lord, Theo! Do you know what this means?
Yes.
Hugh Crane has kept the children here so he can continue to punish them. Punish them forever. That's why he insisted that the house be maintained. That's why I'm here. That's why the children need me. Hugh Crane is here. It's time, Theo. It's time.
What do you mean now? It's time. Time for what?
It's time for the White Queen to destroy the Red King.
Let's hope they found that axe. Or that cannon they were hoping for.
No, Theo. This is what must happen. Can't you see? It all ends here tonight. One way or another.
Well, we are officially screwed.
You didn't find any tools.
Oh, we found them all right. And used them.
No matter how hard we tried, we couldn't break through a single door, or even a window.
We didn't try the basement. Maybe there's access to the outside from there.
No! This is the way it's supposed to be. We need Hugh Crane here. Tonight.
Have you ever heard the expression, be her for what you wish for?
Hugh Crane! Hugh Crane, I know you can hear me! It's time you leave this place! These children are mine, and I won't let you hurt them anymore!
Eleanor, what are you doing?
I'm trying to summon the Red King. That's why we're here. All of us.
Claire!
Get us out of here, Doctor! Get us out of here!
Yes, Claire, this experiment is over. Maybe if we all rush the front doors at the same time, we can break them down. Come on, everyone, let's go!
No one is getting out of this house tonight. No one is leaving. You must all be judged.
Theodora, put that down.
I shall put nothing down, and I'm not Theodora. Look upon me, maggot. You stand before Hugh Crane. No one shall pass my judgment, Eleanor. You wretched wench! How dare you return to me?
You are a coward, Hugh Crane! Do you hear me? A coward! You hide behind loud noises and vulnerable women! You punish innocent children! Show yourself, you beast! Show yourself and stand before me!
I thought I killed you once before. Apparently, that was not enough. You shall not leave Hill House. Tonight, you shall die and be destroyed forever.
It is you who will not leave this house again, because I accuse you, Crane. I accuse you of the murder of the children of Hill House. But most of all, I accuse you of the murder of my great-great-grandmother, Eleanor Patterson. Hugh Crane, I find you guilty and condemn you. Hugh Crane, go where you belong. Hugh Crane, go to hell!
No! 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 No!
As I said, this is a cautionary tale. Dr. Montague's experiment was born upon the belief that all things can be analyzed, expressed in data, and understood. Please, my students, do not make this error. There is more to life than what we can experience with our paltry five senses. As for the subjects of our story, I wish I had better news. Dr. Montague fell into a deep despair and later into addiction. He was committed to a sanatorium in upstate New York. It is said that Claire visited him often, and there is some comfort in that. In his final months, he insisted on calling himself Dr. Hill, and would spend time in the children's wing, where he'd spend hours on end holding and cuddling the dolls there. Theodora discontinued her podcast and her career. She moved to Copenhagen and became a frequent visitor of the late-night pubs. Her body was later found in the Newham, the Grand Canal there. Luke tried up a stint as a stand-up comedian. Not surprisingly, he failed and later disappeared. His mother thinks he might have fled to Alaska, but no one knows for sure. And as for Eleanor, her story turns out to be a happy one. She inherited a surprising sum from her late adopted mother. With it, she opened up an orphanage, which is considered one of the best in the country. It doesn't have the greatest facilities, but the care there is unparalleled. And as for Hill House, well, that may be the saddest story of all. The Dudley sisters moved on, and the place fell into disrepair. All utilities were cut off, and the house was strangled by neglect and overgrowth. The roof caved in, and several of the walls buckled and later crumbled. Currently, the county is considered razing the whole place and auctioning it off. I must confess, when I drove out to Hill House just last night, I wanted to see the place that had ruined the lives of 3 of my colleagues. It was nearly night when I arrived, and as I grasped those cold, rusty gates and stared up at that ramshackle old building, I couldn't help but hear voices. The voices of children. Maybe it was just the wind, but... So good night, students. Sleep well. I look forward to seeing you as you graduate on Saturday. But never forget that no matter how brilliant you think you may be, there are some things that lie beyond our scientific explanations. The best example I can think of is Hill House.